hubs like mHub. Support startups and innovation centers to drive tech-based solutions. Skills development.
There is a topic which is tied with the theme for the 15th session of the subject parliamentary PF, that's leveraging technology and innovation for smart, inclusive and responsive parliaments in the subject region.
Right, now we have another representation that is coming from the country representative. That is the country representations, and now we have Malawi making a country representation, and we'll now send you back on the floor of the house. Be back on the other side.
Connectivity, upgraded website and feedback portal, enables interactive engagements, allowing citizens to provide feedback on legislative documents and voice opinion on parliament initiatives. Koha library system, it's a digitalized platform offering access to legislative documents, research papers and parliamentary publications, ensuring preservation and accessibility of institutional knowledge. Challenges and opportunities. Challenges: funding gaps for developing advanced technological infrastructure, limited technical skills among parliamentary staff and other stakeholders. Efforts to address the challenges: partnerships with the international organizations like UNDP, EU and the USAID under the Malawi Support Program. Training ICT officers through attachments to technological advanced parliaments to align and gain expertise. Opportunities: growing digital literacy and investments in a broadband infrastructure, expanding youth and women's participation in tech-driven governance. Impact and vision for the Parliament of Malawi. Technology is driven more inclusive and transparent governance in Malawi's parliament. Investments in innovation and partnerships are crucial for achieving developmental milestones outlined in the 2063 agenda. A continued focus on digital transformation will foster responsive and governance and active citizen participation. I thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I will now go to the member from Seychelles, and after that I will call on the member from Lesotho, if you will be prepared to step up. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. All protocol observed. Good afternoon, everybody. The application of technology and innovations for parliaments means optimize productivity, efficient decision-making process, improve management, and increase engagement, among other possible, setting the national ICT policy objective being ICT infrastructures, legal and regulatory framework, human resources development, and industry and government. Since then, Seychelles has taken several strides aiding to leverage technology for inclusivity in the government, led by the Department of Information Communication Technology, DICT. The DICT current plan and strategies as per its mandate and website are as follows, with many of the strategies addressing the role of Parliament in leveraging on technology and innovation for inclusive and responsive Parliament. Modernize and update the national ICT policy and strategic plan. Work closely with stakeholders to make ICT hardware and software more affordable. Increase the residential penetration of computer and internet access. Foster collaboration with ICT service provider to continue investing in the infrastructure and encourage service providers to introduce affordable and innovative services. Promote, improve universal access to basic ICT service and ensure that tariffs are competitively priced. Promote and facilitate the deployment of eco-commerce in Seychelles. To connect all government departments to the electronic government network. To allow the secure integration of the various information systems of government. Thus, to make available government services, e-services online on the internet, where appropriate, for access of services by businesses and public in general. Modernize the ICT legislative framework to bring it in line with established and developed ICT markets. This includes the review of the Broadcasting and Telecommunication Act and the development of the regulation pertaining to license fee, interconnection, competition, interception of communication, infrastructure sharing, and use of safe digital space. Whereas the National Assembly of Seychelles, IT infrastructure and management is conducted internally by the Parliamentary Information Technology Department and not by the Department of Information Communication Technology Department, which is government regulated. This has allowed the National Assembly to progress and advance to the best of its capabilities, improving its digital accessibility, inclusivity, and responsiveness. Part of this network is also the Public Relations and Protocol Division, utilizing social network, incorporating technology and innovation into parliamentary practices. The National Assembly of Seychelles has therefore implemented this in the following ways. Active use of social and professional media network as channel of communication to the public. The network include Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. On the first two, the work of the National Assembly, that of members and committee, including international missions, as pertain to their oversight and representation roles, are posted and published in a timely manner. In addition to live streaming the House sitting and public hearing, the Parliament YouTube channel also includes educational videos on Parliament on topics such as role of Parliament in Seychelles. The National Assembly of Seychelles website provides various ways for the public to contact the National Assembly, mainly via the office of the Speaker and the clerk. Also provided are the contact for press inquiries, general inquiries, and for group visits. The Parliament website is modern, user-friendly, and well-maintained. Visitors to the website will find that they are able to access all relevant information and documents related to the work of the Parliament. The Assembly is currently in the process of producing videos for the deaf community under the Parliamentary Deaf Program funded by Commonwealth parliamentarians with disability grant, CWPD. Commonwealth parliamentarians with disability to improve the parliamentary inclusivity. For a smart parliament, the Parliament of Seychelles utilized the Microsoft 365 network, which facilitates internal communication and collaboration, especially across divisions of the Parliament. Members are allowed to use their gadgets while in session to communicate with their constituents or the public at large while respecting protocols in place, like no taking of pictures or filming of session and no video calls. As a parliament, we also have gaps to address, especially in regards to its responsiveness. We have planned in the future to establish a system to facilitate public engagement and participation in parliament processes, allowing for their concern on various topics to be addressed. This would necessitate a building in capacity for the assembly, both human and financial. The Parliament of Seychelles has participated in various discussions regarding technology and innovations in Parliament, which has taken place at various points. This includes a regional webinar on for SADC members, held to establish requirements for baseline and policies that would give guidance on how to use technologies after the COVID pandemic. The discussion covered opportunities and challenges, with most challenges related to the state of ICT infrastructure, low bandwidth for running parliamentary meetings via video conferencing, and in-house system. This exposure has capacitated members and staff on knowledge to navigate the digital space, and we are grateful to SADC-PF for such opportunity and look forward to future engagement in relation to innovative technology support. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I remind Honorable Members you have about 5 minutes each. Please keep your intervention to more or less that. I call on Lesotho, and to bring a little disorder in the order, I will call on next on Zimbabwe.
Mr. President, allow me to preface my presentation on the words of Cherion Wong Sak from his article on globalization and technology, titled How They Will Change Society, and I quote, "Technology is expanding faster than any known biological entity. Lifestyle and human behavior are responding much as they did to all other waves in human history, with great difficulty and at times in unexpected ways. Significant changes are currently shaping human societies." End of quote. Mr. Chairman, what Chairman Sang is saying is a reality that our countries and our parliaments are facing right now in their strive to remain significant and relevant and effective in responding to the challenges of our time and to harness the power of technology. Parliaments are compelled to modernize their processes and recast their procedures. For some, it has been a reasonably easy journey, while some are lagging behind as they continue to grapple with basic innovations and adaptation challenges, the most salient being financial and human resources. Nonetheless, the digital age presents uncharted opportunities which require parliaments to embrace modern IT solutions for greater success. Parliaments are now more than ever faced with the increasing demand for involvement of the public in parliamentary processes, and their public perception is based on their ability to respond to the interests of the people that they represent. Mr. Chairman, allow me now to briefly highlight the position of the Parliament of Lesotho in relation to the technological advancements made thus far. On the advancements, the theme for the 56th Plenary Assembly has come at the time when the Parliament of Lesotho is midway in the implementation of the e-Parliament project, supported by the Ministry of Information, Communications, Science, Technology and Innovation, and funded by the African Development Bank. In the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, the House resolved that all members be provided with iPads to facilitate virtual sittings of the House. This was one of the first and key initiatives that influenced our House to become paperless. Temporary standing orders were accordingly made to allow for online processes. The intention is to incorporate those proposals in the upcoming review of the standing orders following the passage of the 10th Amendment to the Constitution Bill. From 2020, all procedural documents and announcements are shared digitally through email and WhatsApp. As we speak, the Lesotho Parliament has almost completed the process of installing a system with the following features and functionalities. 1. A paperless media conference system functions, which will allow us to digitally manage and monitor bills, amendments, committee reports, minutes, and other procedural documents. The system supports increased workflows, helps streamline document archiving, storage and retrieval, facilitates publication of documents in an open format and reduces paper waste. 2. A video conferencing system which will allow all members to participate in meetings remotely. 3. An audio-video system for the recording and potential television, streaming and webcasting of parliamentary sessions. The system will include sufficient broadcast ports to cater for simultaneous broadcasts on television, Parliament web page, Parliament intranet, YouTube, and Facebook. 4. Real-time communications between participants and support real-time display, sending and receiving of information. 5. An electronic system that will provide real-time voting and publishing of voting results on the official website of the parliaments. And 6, and lastly, it will also allow for e-petitions and their processing. Strategic direction. In July this year, both houses of parliament in Lesotho adopted 5 years starting from 2024 and ending in 2028. Objective 5 of the National Assembly Strategic Plan calls for sufficient and appropriate physical resources, and Strategy 5.1 emphasizes particularly the need to improve technology, stroke ICT, stroke equipment, stroke systems. The ICT department is expected to come up with a strategy and roadmap under this objective, which technological advancements for the Parliament of Lesotho. Challenges. Mr. Chairman, despite these admirable advancements that we have made, the Parliament of Lesotho still has some challenges, and this include limited financial and human resources, over-dependence on the executive, and namely the Ministry of Communications and Technology, security measures to protect sensitive data and systems. And Mr. Chairman, you'll remember that the earlier session dwelt quite heavily on these matters of cyber security. In conclusion, Mr. Chairman, I would like to say that the Parliament of Lesotho is steadfast in its resolve to secure the necessary resources towards its modernization. Today's rapidly evolving technological landscape leaves Parliament with no option but to embrace technology for their enhanced efficiency and productivity. And the Parliament of Lesotho will not be found wanting in this important regard. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I call on Zimbabwe to the podium, and after that I will call Botswana.
Thank you, Mr. President. Allow me to ride on the protocol which has been used. Let me go straight to the presentation from Zimbabwe, touching on the theme for this conference. The Parliament of Zimbabwe is uniquely positioned to lead legislative modernization in the Southern Africa Development Community, SADC region, through the integration of artificial intelligence, IA, advanced digitalization and innovation framework such as the proposed Zimbabwe Parliament's Digital Technologies Committee of the Future. This commitment aligns with global best practice and ensure that Zimbabwe's legislative process meet the demands of the 21st century governance and foster inclusive, transparency and responsiveness. The Parliament of Zimbabwe has developed its 7th institutional strategic plan covering the period of 2025 to 2029. The institutional strategic plan has identified 5 key results areas which are expected to be attained during the period of 2025 and 2029. Central to our deliberations here today, it is a key area from Zimbabwe which focuses on the transformation of our parliament into a modern and well-resourced institution which is capable of meeting the challenges of contemporary governance. To actualize this vision, the strategic plan proposes a series of strategic initiatives. Mr. President, among these initiatives is the need to embrace digital technologies driven by artificial intelligence as an OCO. Artificial intelligence in the legislative sector. Mr. President, AI represents a transformative opportunity for Zimbabwe's parliament by enabling policy analysis. AI tools can predict socio-economic outcomes of proposed laws, assist in drafting legislative, and synthesizes public statements for more inclusive policy making through digital data analysis. Examples of benchmark, which includes Canada's Digital Charter, which integrates AI to enhance transparency and public participation, and Estonia's e-parliament. To that extent, digitalization underpins the creation of smart parliament platforms for managing parliament process should be occurred in the Internet of Things, IoT, for synthesizing database linkages through internet connectivity. Inspired by the UK Parliament's digital strategy, Zimbabwe is poised to apply AI for the establishment of the Zimbabwe e-Parliament. Mr. President, a hallmark of transparency and accountability in the Parliament of Zimbabwe is the swift production and digital publication of Hansard, which is the official record of parliamentary debates. Remarkably, Zimbabwe distinguished itself as one of the countries Southern Africa with a parliament that produces the Hansard within 3.5 hours of adjournment of that parliament debates quickly reaches out globally. By uploading the Hansard online, Parliament website, Twitter and Facebook, Parliament has democratized access to its proceedings and enable robust public outreach worldwide. Another key technology innovation that we have implemented is a digital recording system that facilitates real-time documentation of parliament proceedings. However, we need to adopt artificial intelligence technologies that enable each real-time speech-to-text conversation, which all alleviate and monotony and labor associated with manual transcription. Parliament of Zimbabwe could also use AI for real-time transformation to address its diverse linguistic needs and use the automated system to simplify research efforts. These measures will enhance access to parliamentary proceedings and align them with the expectations as well as facilitating citizens responsive to parliamentary processes. Mr. President, we are currently working on the introduction of a virtual informatics database, which is artificial intelligence driven to enable legislators and the public to have access to the already existing word-based socio-economic database, which scoops the economic ecosystem of each constituency. Virtual parliamentary constituency information centers are also being developed to enable the public to access documents from their mobile devices in line with technological advancement in the use of artificial intelligence. However, with effect of digitalization come the critical need for advanced cybersecurity legal frameworks, ensuring the security of sensitive data which safeguards parliamentary integrity and public trust, especially the threat of deepfake, misinformation and disinformation. Mr. President, coming to the future campaigns and digital constituencies, AI and the digital tools can redefine MP constituency engagement, allowing for the creation of virtual outreach and constituencies where citizens participate in town halls, polls and police consultation online. AI-powered public opinion analysis will enable members of parliament to address public concern proactively. Leveraging social media and mobile platforms will ensure inclusivity, especially for the marginalized community, similar to the initiatives in Brazil and the European parliaments, which use AI to streamline public interaction. Mr. President, for the Parliament of Zimbabwe platform, with an overgrowing number of followers such as Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, serves as the dynamic channel for information and engaging in interactive discussion with the public during public hearings. Through integration in digital technologies, Parliament has transformed the stakeholders' engagement in Zimbabwe in the Parliament business. Virtually, meetings, platforms, digitalized consultation systems and accessible contents formats have broadened participation and allowed the public, especially in the rural areas and the remote areas, to contribute meaningfully. Adaptive technologies have further democratized access and enable persons with disabilities to engage Parliament equitably. By leveraging this innovation, Mr. President, our Parliament is redefining governance as the transformative force that dismantles system barriers to effectively in the governance and matrix. Coming to the Digital Technologies Committee of the Future, Mr. President, the proposed Digital Technology Committee of the Future from Zimbabwe's forward-thinking approach to e-Parliament. Inspired by Finland's successful model, the committee will explore emerging technologies like blockchain and renewable energy, pilot IE-based policy tools, and address challenges such as climate change, action, demographic shifts. It will also act as a hub for collaboration with the academia and the techno-savvy and civil society to drive the legislative innovation. Coming to the recommendation and implementation, number one, the strategic roadmap is going to develop a phased digital transformation plan with clear goals. And the issue of capacity building, Mr. President, it will train members of Parliament and staff in IA tools and cyber security concern. The pilot project is the third recommendation, which is going to introduce AI in focused areas such as legislative draft, citizen feedback systems during public hearing, and enhancing members of Parliament to make sure that they also do their representative role. Number four, ethical guidelines. It will also implement legal framework to mitigate bias, ensure transparency. The last one is collaborative partnership, which will work with the international and regional experts to share best practice so that it will establish robust digital technologies which enhance the e-Parliament. In conclusion, Mr. President, Zimbabwe's integration of AI and ICT system into its parliamentary frameworks is a commitment to citizen-centric e-Parliament systems. This vision underscores Zimbabwe's potential to harmonize tradition with digital innovation and ensure that its democratic institutions remain adaptive and impactful in the spirit of accountability governance. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Honorable Member from Zimbabwe. I will call on Botswana to the podium, and after that, I will call Tanzania.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. President, allow me to stand on the protocol that has been established. The publication and dissemination of parliamentary information in developed countries have been shown to improve citizen engagement in governance and bridge the gap between representative and electorate. Studies indicate that over the last 20 years, there has been improvement or increasing efforts to use digital tools to facilitate this process, which has resulted in a highly successful parliamentary performance. The Parliament of Botswana is no exemption in the use of technology and smart innovations to develop and share the responsibilities of making laws, budgeting, sponsoring bills, performing oversight functions, which is a true tenet of democratic principle. Mr. President, the Parliament of Botswana has recently reviewed the legislative framework in its capacity to facilitate innovation and creativity, especially in the digital space. Gaps were identified relating to data management and protection, possibility for cybercrime, and the need to facilitate possible initiatives that will improve the efficiency of government to deliver. The government of Botswana is automating government through the One Government platform. This is a project which is expected to improve service delivery and the efficiency of government machinery, as well as accountability and citizen participation on same. Government of Botswana and Parliament of Botswana has reviewed the capacity of legislative and accountability infrastructure, and as a result, Parliament passed the following legislations. Number 1, Data Protection Act, Electronic Record Act, Electronic Communication and Transaction Act, and Cyber Security Act. Through bilateral relations and cooperation, the government of Botswana is working on the development of Artificial Intelligence Act and other related regulatory mechanisms as we prepare to enhance the existing electronic platforms and ICT infrastructure to improve the efficiency and effectiveness of government services, as well as accountability of the same to the citizen of Botswana. As a result, the following services have been automated. The newly elected parliament and newly established parliament committees will, through the Community Scorecard and Botswana Speaks project initiative, carry out a robust oversight over the newly established innovative ways to check value for money. Mr. President, Botswana Parliament introduced an online platform called Botswana Speaks. This platform is aimed at enriching democracy through publication, through policy dialogue. The platform's goal is enhancing the representative role of the members of parliament and building a responsive parliament and government for improved service delivery. The platform allows citizens to send messages directly via an online system using computers, laptops, tablets, and smartphones. The messages are uploaded automatically into a tracker and viewed regularly by members of parliament for them to respond. Live streaming and broadcasting of parliamentary proceedings lead to first-hand political education of the common people. Parliamentary sessions are broadcast live on radio, on television, and social media platforms. Constituents now have the opportunity to witness the elected representatives in ventilating their concerns through live broadcast daily while Parliament is sitting, press briefings on the agenda before Parliament as news items, regular broadcast interviews with ministers in which the public can submit questions directly. Mr. President, the Botswana culture and traditional systems are the cornerstones of our delivery of public participation and consultation. They are the cornerstones of mafoko a kgotle a mantle otlhe, meaning the need to improve the voice of the citizens in decision-making structures is key to the success of the development agenda of attaining prosperity for all in 2036. That is vision of Botswana. Perhaps it is because of our population size that we are able to consult the citizens extensively on developments which affect their lives and continuously monitor effects on the same. As a result, we have since established a public participation platform termed Botswana Speaks, which leverages on IT and existing cultural traits. However, we are still experiencing teething problems during the last parliament due to management issues at constituency level. Capacity building and improving the uptake on the issue of the platform will be the key going forward. We are also improving partnerships with other developed parliaments to improve performance of the aforesaid beautiful initiatives. As a result, capacity building for members of parliament, constituency staff, and electorates or constituents continues to improve its overall performance. Furthermore, given the capacity of artificial intelligence, Parliament of Botswana is working with experts to establish the existing platforms both within the ministries and within parliaments. It could be enhanced using AI, bearing in mind possible negative effects which have been registered by parliaments which have already started using AI to improve efficiency on parliamentary support services such as communication systems, Hansard production, translation, research, committee operations, and overall record management and legislative services.
Time, please.
Mr. President, many parliaments have dedicated centers for information and education and parliament building for organized visits and individual visitors. Botswana has established permanent parliamentary offices in all 61 constituencies and mostly are utilizing social platforms such as X, Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook to engage. The objectives of using these platforms, they include developing relationship between members of parliament, voters, and between local administrators, civil society in a systematic way. To organize local training sessions, it is also one of the ways public discussions and hearing seminars. Botswana introduced visual meetings during COVID-19 so as not to interrupt parliamentary work. These virtual parliamentary sittings extended to parliamentary committees' work. The oversight role of Parliament cannot be overemphasized, and therefore Parliament is an institution. As an institution has developed a robust model to engage stakeholders with parliamentary committees through virtual sittings, examinations, and appearance, which has continued post COVID-19. Lastly, the largest voting demographic in Botswana is the youth, as recently experienced in the 2024 general elections. This occurrence in Botswana undercuts and dismissed the notion that many young people lack interest in politics. In view of this situation in Botswana, Parliament is now making efforts to engage the interest of a wider school-based initiative that inculcates political education within the broader educational system. I thank you.
Thank you, members. Members, kindly adjust your interventions to fit within the time frame. I call on Tanzania, and following that, I will call on Angola.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I will give Tanzania experience in relation to the theme, leveraging technology and innovation for smart, inclusive, and responsive parliament in the SADC region. First and foremost, we do agree that technology and innovation, that is digital transformation, has an impact on the efficiency when discharging our parliamentary mandates. And as we all know that the main parliamentary mandates are lawmaking, oversight, and representation. Chairman and my fellow member of parliaments, I'm sure you will agree with me that for the digital transformation to take place and to be very efficient, we need two main factors in place. First, we need digital infrastructure, and second, we need digital software. In terms of digital infrastructure, in Tanzania we are very far ahead. As have been mentioned several times, that in Tanzania around above 65% of the people lives in rural area, in the villages. And in order to ensure that they have internet access in rural areas, in the villages, you must make sure that there is electricity. Electricity is available in the village. And in Tanzania now, electricity penetration is of a high percentage, and now we are about to finalize the huge project of ensuring that all the villages in Tanzania have electricity. So that is the first and the main digital infrastructure. You cannot provide internet access in the villages if there are no electricity in those villages. And the second main digital infrastructure which has to be there to enable internet access and the digital transformation is the optic fiber connectivity. In Tanzania now, in terms of fiber connectivity, we are around 7%, 70. So 70% of Tanzania is covered by the fiber connectivity, which is a reasonably high percentage. So that is in terms of main digital infrastructure. But coming back to the Parliament's experience regarding this technology and innovations, in Tanzania right now as we speak, the Parliament of Tanzania is paperless Parliament. All the activities in the parliaments are done digitally. There's no any paper involved. And all the 394 member of parliaments, each of us have an iPad. And all the parliament activities are done digitally through that iPad. So what it means is that from early in the morning, when we receive order paper, it comes digital. All the questions that has to be asked and answered by the government, you will have them all in iPads. They come digital. So when you want to compose a question, when you want to follow up anything, it all comes digitally. So the Parliament of Tanzania is a paperless parliament. And in terms of discharging our main mandates using technology, we are also reasonably far. I'll give some example. For instance, we all know that one of our mandates is law making. And we all know that in the process of making the law, we always have a bill when we want to enact a new law or when we want to amend the existing law. We usually have bills on our table. And in the process, we always conduct what we call public hearing. We get views, opinion from the people regarding that particular bills on the table. So what we always do is that when we have a bill, we ensure that that bill is sent digitally to the citizens, people in our constituents, and give them a time frame whereby they give us opinion on that particular bills, or whether a new bill is enacted or existing bill is just being amended. So we are inclusive in terms of ensuring that before we pass a bill or before we amend any clause in the existing act, we get opinion from the people, from the constituents, and we do this through digital platforms. And in terms of another parliament mandates, that's oversight, that we all member of parliament, we can access various ministerial information platforms, and regarding their budgets, because at the end of each financial year we approve budgets for various ministries, and then from time to time we go through their spending, and we compare against the budget that we approved, and that is oversight role. And we are able to do this through various digital platforms, and in the sense that technology and the innovation enables us to perform that oversight function. And another parliamentary mandates, as we all know, is the representation. And here in Tanzania, what we do, that we have live streaming for the all parliamentary sessions. So when parliamentary sessions are going on, they are live broadcasted. So when a member of parliament rise in the parliament contributing something or doing some presentation, then all its people, its voter in its constitutions, they are able to follow up. They listen what he is saying or she is saying about them. So this live streaming of the all parliamentary sessions, to a large extent, it has enhanced accountability. And we, member of parliament, when we are aware that when we are standing in the parliament and contributing on something, when we are aware that our voters are listening to us, are watching to us, we are very careful, and we will always speak to the issue that are beneficial to our voters. And in this sense, we'll be taking care of people's interests rather than personal interests, because your voters listens to you. And so if you speak something which is not beneficial to them, then you put yourself in a danger for the next election.
Time, please.
Because people will not vote for you. So in conclusion, I would say that it's very true that technology and innovation has a great impact on our efficiency in discharging our parliamentary mandates, and we look forward that I've listened to a lot of practices from different SADC countries, and I've learned something that I'm sure I'll take back home to Tanzania, and make sure that we also implement as we know that best practice always improve our performance. Mr. Chairman, thank you for this opportunity, and I full support the theme for this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I call Angola to the podium, and after that, I will be calling Zambia.
Excelência, Senhor Presidente do Fórum Parlamentar da SADC, Honorável Roger Mancienne. A governação parlamentar eletrónica é já um facto na nossa Assembleia Nacional, sendo de realçar, excelentíssimos speakers, senhoras e senhores, a conexão em tempo real entre o Palácio da Assembleia Nacional e os 17 gabinetes locais, onde funcionam os deputados eleitos pelos círculos provinciais, que igualmente podem aceder a reuniões plenárias e das comissões de trabalho especializadas por videoconferência. A prática mostra-nos diariamente que é importante olhar para os avanços tecnológicos como um mecanismo de facilitação da nossa atividade. Aliás, a tecnologia encurtou a participação dos cidadãos e os seus representantes via virtual através das novas tecnologias, importante instrumento para uma democracia mais escrutinada e aproximando os cidadãos aos seus representantes através da participação de todos os segmentos sociais. À medida que a tecnologia evoluiu, a inclusão digital e social passou a ser um risco no que se refere à defesa e respeito dos direitos, liberdades e garantias fundamentais dos cidadãos, obrigando a intervenção legislativa para mitigar os efeitos negativos do uso indevido das novas tecnologias e da inteligência artificial, através de leis que orientem a adoção de políticas públicas inclusivas sobre a matéria e cada vez mais abrangentes, mas nos limites impostos pela lei. A inteligência artificial, a internet e outras inovações tecnológicas estão moldando novas fronteiras para a inclusão social, levantando questões complexas sobre a ética, a privacidade, a equidade, obrigando-nos a repensar o modelo legislativo para a preservação dos direitos, liberdades e garantias fundamentais, mas ainda é inevitável compreendermos que a inovação e a tecnologia não são um destino final, mas uma jornada contínua que requer adaptação constante diante das rápidas mudanças tecnológicas e sociais que o mundo conhece. A transição tecnológica ao nível do Parlamento angolano também coincidiu com a proliferação e utilização em massa das redes sociais e da comunicação online, tornando evidente que a conectividade não é apenas uma questão de acesso à informação, mas também um meio vital de interação social e cultural e da preservação da soberania de cada país. Relativamente à Assembleia Nacional da República de Angola, apraz-me partilhar que desde 2017 entramos num processo de desmaterialização de toda a atividade legislativa, sendo que toda a documentação produzida, desde as leis, resoluções, pareceres e relatórios, são remetidos aos deputados através dos seus endereços eletrónicos, criando-os no início da legislatura num laptop que lhes é atribuído gratuitamente. O Parlamento de Angola usa o software Audimos para a transição de áudios em textos e este software utiliza a inteligência artificial generativa, pois aprende à medida que for alimentado novas palavras. Com o uso do Audimos, as atas e o diário da Assembleia Nacional de Angola passam a ser produzidos em menos tempo, evitando o desgaste dos redatores e ao mesmo tempo que garantimos textos com menos erros e um selo de controlo da efetividade e organização dos trabalhos. Temos uma biblioteca virtual, disponível 24 horas para os senhores deputados, funcionários parlamentares e cidadãos em geral. Neste momento, concluímos o aspecto material e tecnológico de instalação do canal parlamentar de rádio e televisão, que brevemente vai ser emitido, estando a ser capacitado o pessoal que vai prestar serviços nesta área. No mesmo sentido, criamos a Academia Parlamentar, que deverá capacitar continuamente os nossos deputados e funcionários sobre várias matérias legislativas, administrativas e estratégias sobre a gestão e resolução de conflitos a vários níveis, não só para os deputados, como eu já disse, mas para todos os funcionários da nossa Casa. Concluindo, Sr. Presidente, gostaria de reafirmar que a Assembleia Nacional da República de Angola continua apostada na formação dos seus funcionários através do uso da inteligência artificial e das novas tecnologias para dar resposta aos desafios atuais do desenvolvimento do nosso mundo em constante evolução. Muito obrigado.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker of Angola. I now call on Zambia. Following that, I will be calling on the RDC to the podium.
Thank you. Mr. President, allow me to thank the Right Honorable Madam Nelly B.K. Muti, Speaker of the National Assembly of Zambia, for having given me this privilege to present the country report for Zambia. Mr. President, the Zambian Parliament recognizes the importance of emerging technologies and innovation in fulfilling its functions in the digital age. To achieve this, the National Assembly of Zambia has developed an Information and Communication Technology ICT Strategic Plan for 2022 to 2026. This plan aims to enhance transparency, efficiency, and inclusivity in parliamentary operations. Mr. President, to support its goals, the National Assembly of Zambia has adopted several technologies. These include the use of social media platforms to enhance public participation and stream live parliamentary proceedings. Our social media presence can be found on Facebook, YouTube, and X, formerly Twitter. Additionally, we have established a parliamentary website to provide easy access to parliamentary information and enable public submissions. Mr. President, the National Assembly of Zambia has also developed a mobile application called My e-Parliament. This app enables citizens to participate in parliamentary proceedings and interact with members of parliament. Furthermore, we have implemented an e-Parliament system to manage parliamentary functions electronically. This includes the e-chamber system, which was developed and fast-tracked during the COVID-19 pandemic to enhance the management of the plenary and committee sittings. Mr. President, despite these efforts, challenges persist. Limited internet access and digital literacy hinder the effective use of these technologies. The limited reach and utilization of the parliamentary website, as well as the limited coverage of Parliament television and radio, also pose challenges. Moreover, the adoption and accessibility of My e-Parliament app have been hindered by limited public awareness and appreciation. Mr. President, to address these challenges, the National Assembly of Zambia is undertaking measures to enhance internet connectivity, digital literacy, and public awareness. As earlier alluded to in the morning by Mr. Percy Chinyama, the National Coordinator for Smart Zambia, we have successfully installed Starlink kits in all the 156 constituency offices, which has significantly enhanced internet connectivity. We are also conducting educational and outreach programs to enhance citizen understanding and engagement. Furthermore, the National Assembly of Zambia has continued investing in ongoing training and skill development for members of parliament and staff. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Honorable Member, for the report for Zambia. I call on DRC, la République démocratique du Congo. Vous avez la parole.
Monsieur le Président du Forum parlementaire de la SADC, Madame la Présidente de l'Assemblée nationale de la République du Zambie, Madame la Secrétaire générale du Forum parlementaire de la SADC, éminents collègues, distingués participants en vos titres et qualités respectifs. C'est un honneur d'être ici aujourd'hui avec vous dans cette ville touristique de Livingstone pour prendre part à la 56e Assemblée plénière du Forum parlementaire de la SADC. Permettez-moi de remercier, au nom du Parlement de la République démocratique du Congo, le peuple de la République de Zambie, à travers son gouvernement, pour l'accueil chaleureux qu'ils ont réservé à notre délégation. Je voudrais par la même occasion féliciter le président du Forum de la SADC, la présidente de l'Assemblée nationale de la Zambie et la secrétaire générale du Forum parlementaire de la SADC pour l'excellente organisation des travaux. Le thème que nous partageons aujourd'hui revêt un intérêt particulier, d'autant plus que nul n'ignore que la technologie et l'innovation révolutionnent actuellement le monde dans presque tous les secteurs de la vie. En tant que parlementaires, nous sommes tous concernés pour la promotion et la matérialisation effective de ce que nous apporte la transformation numérique dans la région de la SADC. En République démocratique du Congo et au Parlement, les efforts sont consentis pour y parvenir, notamment par la création du Fonds national de la recherche scientifique et l'innovation, l'institution du Forum du génie scientifique congolais organisé chaque année, l'intégration du volet numérique au sein du ministère des Postes et Télécommunications, la conclusion de plusieurs accords de partenariat portant sur la chaîne de valeur des minerais stratégiques, entre autres avec la Zambie sur la production des batteries électriques, l'adoption de la loi portant code numérique promulguée par le président de la République en mars 2023. Aux côtés de ces contextes institutionnels et législatifs, il est à noter que notre Parlement intègre peu à peu la gestion électronique des documents, l'archivage électronique, la sécurité informatique et l'analyse de données et l'intelligence artificielle par la création du Centre du numérique au sein de ces administrations pour interagir avec les assemblées provinciales. Monsieur le Président, Madame la Présidente, Madame la Secrétaire générale, distingués collègues, distingués participants, notre message d'aujourd'hui est de partager les efforts consentis par le Parlement congolais qui s'investit dans la mise à profit de la technologie et de l'innovation pour l'amélioration de la transparence et la redevabilité des activités parlementaires, et aussi de permettre aux citoyens de toute leur diversité d'avoir une grande possibilité d'accès aux documents et aux activités parlementaires et la capacité de s'engager davantage dans la vie publique. Pour conclure, j'en appelle à notre sens élevé de responsabilité pour qu'une réflexion stratégique soit initiée pour identifier les domaines prioritaires afin de l'utilisation de l'intelligence artificielle et élaborer une charte des usages pour l'amélioration de la productivité, la simplification des tâches et la création de contenus innovants pour partager les retours d'expérience entre nos parlements au bénéfice de l'intelligence artificielle, tout en indiquant les risques impliqués pour son utilisation au sein de notre communauté qu'est la SADC. Telle est la contribution du Parlement congolais en matière de technologie et l'innovation. Je vous remercie de votre attention.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the report for the DRC. I will now call on Eswatini for their report. And following that, I will be calling on the Republic of South Africa.
Mr. President, the Parliament of the Kingdom of Eswatini Strategic Plan 2022-2026 speaks to how technology and innovation can enhance the effectiveness, inclusivity, and responsiveness of Parliament. This is embedded in Pillar on Information, Communication, and Technology. Current technological initiatives on digital transformation, the Parliament of the Kingdom of Eswatini has recently procured modern gadgets designed to enhance the productivity and efficiency of parliamentarians, such as tablets and laptops. These devices will not only facilitate better communication and access to information, but also support remote participation in parliamentary sessions. On e-Parliament platforms, Parliament has further addressed the development of an e-Parliament platform that enhances legislative operations, a practice which was refined during the COVID-19 pandemic with the support of UNDP. Parliament is further advocating response budgeting for ease of accessing more and necessary resources to escalate implementation of this platform, which would modernize governance and create more accessible, inclusive legislative environment. On innovative practices for inclusivity and public engagement tools, there is high intervention and importance of leveraging social media and website platforms as vital tools for sharing all parliamentary business with the public. This approach not only enhances communication, but also fosters greater civic engagement. Accessibility enhancement with the sensitization workshop of persons living with disabilities, a resolution was taken that Parliament is to engage human capital with expertise, but to ensure that parliamentary proceedings are inclusive for all members of society, particularly individuals with disabilities. Responsive governance through technology and data-driven decision-making, the critical role of data analytics in shaping policy decisions and enhancing legislative outcomes is enhanced through systematically collecting and analyzing relevant data. Policymakers uncover trends, identify the needs of constituents, and evaluate the effectiveness of existing laws and initiatives. Parliament works hands with the Ministry of ICT Portfolio Committee. On crisis management, additionally, during elections, remote voting systems were introduced, allowing parliamentarians to cast their votes safely from various locations, which contributed to the efficiency and continuity of governance. On regional collaboration and best practices, knowledge sharing to enhance collaboration and improve legislative effectiveness within the Southern African Development Community SADC, it is essential for the Parliament to advocate for the enhancement of the existing regional knowledge sharing platform to expand to the youth. And under joint initiatives, Parliament of Eswatini further proposes a range of collaborative projects aimed at enhancing the efficiency and effectiveness of legislative processes through technology. One key initiative could involve the development of regional e-governance framework, which would facilitate streamlined communication and information sharing among legislative bodies across different jurisdictions.
on future prospects and challenges, emerging technologies, it is important to make highlights on the transformative potential of emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence and the Internet of Things on the functions of Parliament. On cybersecurity, furthermore, the critical importance of cybersecurity measures in safeguarding parliamentary data and preserving the integrity of digital system is key. With the increasing reliance on technology for legislative processes, there is need to ensure that sensitive information is protected from cyber threats, and this is paramount. In conclusion, the Parliament of the Kingdom of Eswatini cannot protect its operations from potential disruptions, but also uphold public confidence in its commitment to safeguarding democratic processes in an increasingly digital world. I thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The Speaker of South Africa has the floor, and following that I will be calling on Namibia.
President of the SADC Parliamentary Forum, our Vice President, our host speaker, speakers from the SADC region, honorable members, ladies and gentlemen. South Africa welcomes and appreciates the opportunity to participate in the 56th Plenary Assembly of the SADC Parliamentary Forum. The timing of this plenary comes at the time when half of the SADC countries have concluded elections and elected leaders to represent the will of the people. These are leaders entrusted with authority and responsibility to advance national interests and forge regional integration to build a better region as well as better Africa and a better world. The new South African government has resolved to dedicate the next 5 years to advance actions that will drive inclusive growth, reduce poverty, build strong institutional capacities, and increase the meaningful participation of women, youth, and people with disabilities in Parliament and various structures of our economy and society. I'm happy to report that the two houses of Parliament are headed by capable women. Also, the head of the judiciary is actually headed by women. So the two arms of state are led by women. In managing the transition, the availability of smart technology and innovative system has allowed us to ensure that every citizen in this country is kept abreast of the changes made to better their lives, signifying the importance of leveraging technology to build an inclusive and responsive parliament. I must say that we pay tribute to our first Speaker of the Democratic Republic, led by Comrade Freni Chinwala at the time, who really opened Parliament at an early stage and ensured that citizens can watch what is happening in the House. Interestingly, in partnership with our broadcasting community, the region itself and our continent are able to see somehow our theatrics that play, openly on our television. But that has also ensured that we can learn from you and actually accept criticisms where you think we've gone wrong, and through that we grow together. At the onset of the pandemic, we needed to change the rules of Parliament to introduce technology and digital systems for hybrid plenaries and permit Parliament committees to hold virtual meetings. At the time when the country was closed, actually Parliament ran completely virtual. Technology innovation has transformed every aspect of human life, including banking, healthcare, business, and government services in our country. Using communication software and Parliament television, the committees are able to continue to engage with the public on parliamentary lawmaking process, holding the executive accountable, and undertake oversight duties, a journey that has not only made Parliament effective, but also improved the efficiency in Parliament. Leveraging smart technology and innovation in South Africa is aligning with the global shift to a new digitally connected world. Recently, the IPU published the e-Parliament report, which details a comprehensive assessment of the use of digital technology in parliaments. This report surveyed about 115 parliaments and chambers in 86 countries and found that 68% of the sample survey have multi-year digital strategy and 73% have formal modernization programs which are being implemented. More importantly, the report outlined that 95% of surveyed parliaments provide technology or digital devices to the members and staff, a trend that we must embrace and pursue rigorously in the region. This demands that we allocate more budgetary resources to ICT and digital systems. This IPU report awakens us to a reality that as the digital age continues to reshape the world at an unprecedented pace, parliaments are no exception to this phenomenon. In South Africa, embracing and utilizing technology and digital systems is gaining momentum in all parts of the country. I can report that over the years, our government, working with Parliament, has developed systematic responses to emerging science, technology, and innovation opportunities informed by the following realization: an increasing awareness and realization that digital technology is fundamentally transforming the world in which we live, and the country must grab this opportunity. A realization that digital transformation disrupts all business models and invents new ones, changing the way of working, and an increasing acknowledgement that Parliament and government must adapt their business models to the changes caused by advancement. I think it is important, honorable members, to indicate that while all of us may appreciate the good that digital technology brings, but also there are serious risks that we need to take into consideration. It would be important, as we've heard from some of the member states, that we need to actually roll out the issue of energy security, because these are dependencies that will become important when you want to digitalize your country, even our parliaments. But secondly, is to be able to ensure that we bridge the gap between the haves and the have-nots. Thirdly, it's about how we bring those who are in our rural communities where sometimes the penetration is not so good. And I'd also say the risk of cybercrime and its consequences, particularly for women, as we have heard from other members. But again, the cost of the digital technologies, given that as Africa we have not yet developed our own, so the uptake, while it may be important, come with the cost and therefore the budgetary resources that we need to take into consideration. Therefore, leveraging technology and innovation for smart, inclusive, and responsive parliaments in the SADC region also means we must be cognizant of ethical challenges and vulnerabilities in personal information, privacy, and identity. This underscores the need for parliaments to take urgent, collective, and forward-looking actions to safeguard the rights of citizens in the region. South Africa developed the Protection of Personal Information Act, commonly known as POPIA, to protect and increase the security of personal information and the use of technology. Within our parliament, we developed the Information Communication Technology Strategic Plan to ensure the responsible use of technology and that it does not negate the protection of human rights. In South Africa, we believe that parliaments in the region should prioritize leveraging technology to enhance oversight, facilitate, and encourage public participation. I cannot conclude, Mr. President, and my fellow speakers and members, without inviting you to become part of South Africa's hosting of the G20 summit, which will be in 2025 in Cape Town. I hope that as a build-up to that summit, we will find an opportunity where the SADC Parliamentary Forum can actually engage on what we've identified as the key issues that the G20 needs to deliberate upon. So I'll be looking forward to seeing most of you in Cape Town, and I hope the weather will not give you the heartache of the Cape of Storms, but it will be more welcoming. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Speaker of South Africa, for the report. I give the podium to Namibia.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the opportunity, Honorable President, High Table, speakers for various national parliaments, members of parliament, our Secretary General of the SADC Parliamentary Forum, ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted to present this important report. Indeed, it's an honor to address you today at this 56th Plenary Assembly of the SADC Parliamentary Forum. As we convene here in Livingstone, Zambia, under the theme, Leveraging Technological and Innovation for Smart, Inclusive and Responsive Parliaments in the SADC region. We find ourselves at the crossroads of the transformative era in governance. Indeed, I was just reflecting as I was sitting there, it's more than 50 years when the leadership of the governing party, SWAPO, took a decision to promote equal representation in the party structures. It's almost more than 50 years ago. Today we are just about to usher in the first female president of the Republic of Namibia. It shows you how long it has taken some time to prepare and to ensure that the various structures and the representation within the party as well as the country are an equal basis. I remember those decisions were taken in this country. To be precise, 1973, I was one of those people who were sent to the front to convey the decision of the party to the fighting men. At the front, we used to talk about fighting men, not women. Women are not allowed to be there. And I remember conveying, together with two other colleagues of mine, who had given the task of sharing the decision of the party to say this is now, from now on, going to be the pattern, the way how things are going to be done. And you can imagine how those men responded. They said, this is a joke. It tells you that it takes time for people to grow up and to accept the reality of the life we live in. So let me just pack that one there. That is not what I'm here. I hope that's not eat too much into my time. I'm still recovering from what you did yesterday. I'm still recovering to find myself on my feet. I went to bed. I couldn't sleep. Thought about the bond of friendship, the solidarity, the respect, and the honor that you've given me made me sleepless night. I wish I could have taken something stronger than a red wine, but let me leave that there. Firstly, allow me formally to extend sincere gratitude to our gracious host, the Honorable Nelly Muti, the Speaker of the Parliament of Zambia, for the warm hospitality and for the hosting us. Representing Parliament of Namibia at this occasion is really something that I've cherished. It's an honor, and it is something I would characterize as being a privilege for me, especially on the occasion when I'm preparing to exit active life after so many years. So I'm extremely grateful. And I went on to tell you yesterday that I went through Livingston on my way into exile in 1962. Again, all these events remind me about the history of the many years I spent away from home, particularly here in Zambia, in Tanzania, in Angola. It just reminds me, takes me back to those years. That's why I remember we have His Excellency Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah taking the helm of responsibility in Namibia, and reminding me about that decision that the party took more than 50 years ago. It tells a particular story. It is time that we accept that we are in it together, men and women, to shape the destiny of our various countries. Honorable President, the SADC Parliamentary Forum has continuously served as a vital platform for discussion, for cooperation, for mutual learning as we engage each other. The persistent sense of regional solidarity that has long been the SADC region's defining hallmark is reflected in this assembly. With its various and dynamic cultures and diverse economic environment, the SADC region is uniquely positioned to utilize the current technological wave in order to promote democratic governance. We have fantastic potential to leverage technology to promote greater responsiveness, deepen inclusivity, and smart governance into our systems and parliamentary organization, in addition to using it as a tool to enhance efficiency. The Parliament of Namibia, with the help of the World Bank, implemented an e-parliament strategy. This is a significant step that we have taken to embracing digital transformation and risk management, particularly in response to the challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic and the need for continuity in legislative activities. This is a strategy that has made us to become paperless parliament. I remember at the beginning it was quite a challenge for members of parliament, but we took them through induction to make them familiarize themselves to use technology as an important tool. Facility upgrades that has been done to our committee rooms, equipped with state-of-the-art cameras and control unit with audio-visual linked to the chamber. These technological enhancements align with the Assembly's risk management policy and visual meeting rules, ensuring legislative functions can continue uninterrupted even during emergency. Honorable President, the rapid pace of technological innovation defines the present era, shaping the political, social, and economic landscapes of our nations. This transformation has enhanced how governments interact with their citizens and further helped to smoothen regional and global networking. I recall our discussion with the Interparliamentary Union, IPU, in 2018 that led to the establishment of a Center for Innovation in Parliament, CIP, intended to promote the knowledge exchange between parliaments around the world on the topic of innovation through parliamentary information technology. Besides, it brought into consideration other areas such as parliamentary information management, engagement with the citizens, but parliamentary openness, transparency, and access to open data. And all these developments were very important for us, helping us to increase efficiency, strengthening our secretariat team to provide overall coordination and conduct knowledge management activities. However, the actual knowledge exchange work takes place through CIP Hub, of which there are two kinds: regional specialized hubs. The regional hubs promote effective use of technology in parliaments by sharing and consolidating information on past and ongoing as well as into the future ICT activities at the regional level. And through CIP Secretariat at a global level, the Southern African Regional ICT Hub was housed by the Parliament of Zambia. It meant to support Southern African parliaments in digital transformation. It would be informative to get a briefing on how parliaments within the SADC region are interacting with this particular hub. Honorable President, this gathering highlights the critical balance that we should maintain as we embrace technology. Whereas technology can serve as a tool that enhances transparency, efficiency, and inclusivity, we should ensure that it is not utilized to compromise citizens' fundamental rights. Education and awareness on this crucial aspect will hopefully establish frameworks and safeguard against misuse of technology while promoting innovation. Honorable President, in conclusion, SADC Parliament had the opportunity to take the lead in adopting technological advancements while promoting inclusive governance. Through collective action and unified legislative approaches, we can harness and transformative potential technology to create parliaments that are genuinely inclusive, responsive, and that they ensure democratic rights for greater benefit of our people. The time is ripe for us to shape the future and the future of our region with innovation, unity, resilience for greater benefit of the citizens of the SADC region. And I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Dear colleagues, members, thank you for your patience and indulgence. Just allow me a few words in the hope that I can bring today's session to an honorable conclusion. It's been a great pleasure to follow this session for me personally, and I hope you have found it productive. First of all, my words of thanks for the resource persons for their presentations, which contained a lot of information about situations in various countries, especially in our host country, Zambia. But this afternoon, we've added the perspective of all of our member countries. And we have heard of various different kinds of situations. There is a lot of commonality, I must say. We have heard a lot of challenges that individual countries face, but we also heard a lot of solutions. And I believe there is something for all of us to take away. And indeed, the main thing about this session is that we can go away recharged with this mission of leveraging digital technology to the service, in the service of our mandate as parliamentarians. What I have also been impressed with is the determination that people have expressed for the way forward. There has been a lot of progress in the past few years, but the way forward is what is most essential. So I hope that we will use the experiences we have heard about today for new ideas about how we can strengthen what we are doing and also find ways to take up things that we can do in addition to improve the use of digital technology to make our parliaments more effective, efficient, and responsive. I have been one key message that we got this morning from one of our resource persons is the need for countries in the SADC region, or in Africa in general, the context, to collaborate, bring together. No country has the resources really to make a big impact in the development of technology, but pooling resources enables us to develop region-wide and continent-wide solutions. And believe me, we don't have to solve the problems of the West or of Europe, we have to solve our own problems. And there is the possibility in this field for specific applications, for specific developments that suit our area, our regions, and our continent. And this is what I hope we will task ourselves with in the future. The time is opportune. We cannot wait. One of the pronouncements this morning was that the time is now. We have to stay with the curve and be sure that we do manage this leverage as technology, as digital technology develops, before we are hit with the next freeze. There is, of course, also a role for SADC PF itself. And I am sure our Secretary General will have noted that. We take the issue just as seriously as any one of our member parliaments does. And we have already done all that we could. Sometimes the solutions have to be balanced, pros and cons, the benefits. Take meetings, for example. We all know we can have virtual meetings, but as we've heard also this morning, the human element is also important. And it is because person-to-person meetings add so much to our relationship, so much to build the bonds between us, and so much to generate common ideas that it remains a preferable method of undertaking this particular challenge of holding meetings. So there are pros, there are cons, and we have to go forward balancing all that. As a final word, I want to thank all of those who have contributed to making this event a success, especially the staff of the Parliament of Zambia who have been involved, and of course under the direction of our colleague speaker, Honorable Nelly Muti. I have to thank the SADC PF Secretariat and the direction of Secretary General Buemo Segoma for the coordination and arrangements for this session. I hope you have been able to take on the information, the ideas in the theme, and that you have been able to express your own contributions. I thank you very much. And I will now declare the session closed. But before we move out, let me just see if there are any announcements about the program. Our PR officer, I am very happy to hand him the podium. Thank you very much, dear members, and have a good evening, and we'll see you tomorrow promptly at 9 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having stayed tuned to our broadcast. And we do hope that you have followed the deliberations. Yes, to hope that you've deliberations that have been coming to you live from Radisson Blue Hotel, and the official closing of this afternoon's deliberations has been made by the President of SADC PF, who is also Speaker of the Parliament of Seychelles, and this is a close of the program, the symposium that started in the morning and then followed with country reports, which member countries have been giving reports on the status of the use of ICTs in their respective parliaments. Claudette.
Yeah, yes, Julius. So the different delegates from different parliaments actually did interpret the theme for the 56th plenary session of the SADC Parliamentary Forum, which is leveraging technology and innovation for smart, inclusive and responsive parliaments in the SADC region. So we had quite a number of presentations from countries such as Malawi, Seychelles, Lesotho, Zimbabwe, Botswana, Angola, Zambia, Tanzania, just to mention but a few.
And as a standpoint, Claudette, what can we can say that has come about these country reports is that most of the parliaments have slowly or rather been adapting to the usage of ICTs in regards with the usage of ICTs in the parliamentary duties, usage of ICTs in the sharing of documents and necessary procedural issues that come with parliamentary proceedings. And it's like every country is specifically also pointing to that same that they are using ICTs. Of course, they have also mentioned that even if this is a process that is taking place, there's still a lot of or a few of challenges that they are still faced with.
Absolutely. Talking about challenges, the delegate from Malawi actually did say that they are facing quite a number of challenges, but they hope to improve in the use of digital technology, because they've actually been partnering with the United Nations Development Program, and the Malawi delegate did stress the need for officers from the ICT department at the Parliament of Malawi to train them so they can, gain experience. The delegate from the Parliament of Lesotho actually did say that the Parliament of Lesotho is currently implementing the e-Parliament project. He did talk about the time, Julius, when we had the COVID-19, and I'm sure most of the parliaments actually did what the Zambian parliament was doing by, having these proceedings virtually. The proceedings were conducted, online because of the COVID, pandemic. So it's not only happened in Zambia, but it also happened in other countries such as Lesotho. And other challenges that the Lesotho delegate did talk about is the limited, financial support and, human resource. So these are some of the challenges that these countries are facing, and they are hoping to, improve on them.
And like again we said, what is coming out, Claudette, is that Yes, we're faced with the COVID-19 period, which was quite devastating, but out of that devastation arose an innovation which did not see parliaments to sit and hold back, but systems had to be developed to make sure that business is not impeded. That's how come we've seen all these sharing of information in real time, inventions and innovations to bring up even public participation by also reaching out to the social media platforms, and also coming out on this is the indication that actually the Zambian parliament is a ICT hub for all parliaments in the SADC region.
Talking about the Zambian parliament, we have received a lot of, kudos here regarding how we operate as a Zambian parliament. We did see our very own member of parliament for Chinsali, Mr. Kalalo Mukosa, actually speak to the theme for this 56th plenary, assembly. He did say that the National Assembly actually does use social media to enhance public participation, and the Parliament of Zambia actually has, a website that has been established just to make communication with the, the citizens out there, the masses out there, more easier. And the Parliament of Zambia has also come up with a mobile application that is called, My e-Parliament. All these efforts are made to make communication more effective and easier when it comes to parliamentary issues.
And of course, Mr. Mukosa did also highlight that the usage of the My e-Parliament is not as it was expected due to the insufficient public awareness. And so maybe we need to do a lot to make sure that the citizens out there know what this application is all about, and why it was developed in order to enhance citizen participation for information flow from the citizens to the National Assembly, and also from the National Assembly to its citizens.
Absolutely. These delegates are meeting here and see how they can resolve them. Mr. Mukosa also talked about the other challenges that the Zambian parliament is facing. He talked about internet connectivity or access to internet, and limited coverage of parliament radio and television. There are at some parts of the country, the remotest parts of the country, that cannot catch parliament radio or actually watch parliament television. So those are some of the challenges that the Zambian parliament is facing, and with such sessions, we sure hope that most of these issues are going to be resolved.
I'm sure we're heading somewhere.
Absolutely.
All right, so that's how the day shaped, and we have come to a close. Just to bring you to speed that tomorrow's meeting also starts just about 9 hours. Claudette and I will be on hand to just walk you through exactly what is going to happen tomorrow, but the program runs from 09 hours tomorrow morning.
All right, as always, we would like to thank you for having joined us. We are back tomorrow to give you an insight on what is going to be deliberated tomorrow, the whole day, which is going to be day 3 of the 56th plenary assembly that is taking place here at Radisson Blu Hotel in Livingston.
So from the entire production team, Claudette and I have to put down microphones and say bye to close the day for now. We'll be with you tomorrow. Thank you so much.
We're